Yo, what up? It's your boy, and we back at it. I don't remember what the fuck I was gonna do, to be honest. Am I supposed to go somewhere? Maybe there's people to talk to. Okay, yeah, I was probably gonna go talk to them, so let's go. Okay. I pressed the doorbell. After a few seconds. Huh? Who's there? The most negative aura I ever felt. An aura of total decay.
What do you want?
So you're back to normal. Genocide Jack isn't around anymore.
Don't even say her name. It makes me sick to my stomach. I was in such a good mood, too.
She didn't look like she was in a good
Hey,
mood.
I was hoping to talk to you about something. Is now a bad time?
Obviously annoyed, Toko slithered out into the hall.
What do you want?
You said you wanted to talk to me about something. I wanted to talk to you about the fact that Sakura had asked to meet with you. What?
Well...
I don't know what you're talking about. Byakuya already told me she had asked to meet with him. What? She wanted to meet with Master too? I just said two, didn't I? I guess now it's totally obvious, huh? Yep, pretty much. So can you tell me about it? I admit I did get a note, but I didn't go see her. I was scared, so I couldn't bring myself to go. Toko claimed she didn't go see her, but can I really believe her? Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as fact. Is that good enough? Now I'm going back to my room. With that, Toko quickly retreated into her room. Toko's account. And then there was Hiro. I pressed the doorbell. After a few seconds...
You know?
What's up, Makoto? Did you need something? Yeah, actually, I wanted to check something. It's about how Sakura wanted to meet with you.
What?
How did you know about that?
Could it be...
Well, did you maybe gaze into my soul? Do you have a special ability awakened in you? Or have your special abilities awakened in you? But, I'm not the only one she wanted to meet with. Ogre told me herself that she asked Byakuya and Toko to come too. What? When did Sakura tell you that?
What?
Oh, well, when she asked me to meet with her, of course. But didn't she write you a note? Yeah, a note.
How about that?
She gave it to me in person, and she happened to mention the others, like, in passing. I gotta be honest, this is super suspicious. So then you went and met with Sakura?
You got it all wrong.
No way! I totally didn't. Why would I ever do that? Yeah, definitely suspicious.
Actually,
last time I saw Ogre was when Hina got hurt, and I took her to the nurse's office.
don't look at me.
I haven't seen her since then. Well, I'm here. Could you show me the note she gave you? Do I still have it? Let's see. Hiro was feeling around in his pockets.
Hey, come on.
Hey, sorry. Looks like I don't have it anymore. With a big, goofy smile on his face, he pulled his hands out of his pockets. But when he did, I saw something flutter to the ground. Something had fallen out of Hiro's pockets. Huh?
What?
Quick as the wind, Hiro snatched it back up again and shoved it into his pocket.
Hey, come on.
Sorry, just a bit of trash I forgot to throw out. Trash?
What?
Anyway, I can't deny that Ogre asked me to meet with me, but I never went. So if you'll excuse me. Before waiting for a reply, Hiro quickly slipped back into his room. Hiro said that was just trash, but there's no way that's all there was to it. Okay, I've got it. So, I've heard from Toko and Hiro. What next? I'll definitely have to look at the crime scene again, but on top of that, maybe I should find out more about the protein can we found on the floor of the rec room. I'm sure it must have come from the chem lab. So, where should I start? Well, I don't remember controls, cause I'm smart AF. It's the rec room. What floor is the chem lab on? Is that the chem lab? Boom. Let's go. The chem lab.
What?
Makoto, did you have your eye on the chem lab too? Just make sure you don't get in my way. Yeah, I get it. I got it. I think what you meant to say was, yes sir, I understand. Okay, this is my first time seeing the shelf, but I just can't get over how big it is. I should probably take a closer look. It looks like 3 shelves that have been connected to make one giant shelf. But more importantly right now, what's this powder that's been spilled in front of the shelf? I have to be careful not to step in it. There's a bunch of yellow powder scattered on the floor. I better not leave a footprint. There's a broken bottle in front of the shelf. This is where the powder came from. Looks like the bottle had the label on it, Chem C4. C4, they're gonna blow someone up? Would you like to hear something interesting? I was on the fourth floor this morning, checking things out, and at that point, this room wasn't like this. Then, this powder must have been spilled.
In other words,
that's right. It could only have been around the time of the incident. If that really is when it happened, it must be related to the case somehow. Source of the powder. These are footprints, and they're only in front of the left shelf. How do these footprints relate to the scene as a whole? We may need to sketch out the floor plan. By we, do you mean me? How kind of you to offer. With an insufferable smirk, he handed me a piece of paper and a pen.
What?
Well, let's go, chop chop. Oh, okay. So I got to work, and before long I drawn up a sketch of the room. Why did we need a sketch of the room? So how's this? Not bad. For you, I mean. For me.
I see.
So, when you look at it like this, interesting. It would appear that whoever left these footprints only had business at the leftmost shelf. They came in, went straight to the shelf, did whatever they had to, and then left. That's what the footprints tell me. Footprints.
I see.
These footprints must be...
It's certainly
Makoto,
possible.
are they yours? No!
What?
Okay, then let me see your shoes and I'll confirm their size myself. I couldn't think of any reason not to, so I quietly did what Byakuya said. I see. Your feet appear to be too big. Yeah, that's right, boy. I got big feet. You know what else that means? Unfortunately, I must admit these are not your footprints. Unfortunately. But with how clear these footprints are, it should be quite easy to determine who they belong to. Then these prints are a really valuable clue. I should probably take a good hard look at the powder. There's a bunch of yellow powder scattered on the floor. Okay, why? Okay. There's also the remains of a broken bottle. It looks like it's labeled Chem C4. Also, looks like someone left some footprints in the powder. Based on the positioning of the prints, whoever it was only went to the left side of the shelf. According to Byakuya, the powder would have had to have been spilled right around the time of the incident. That's all I can tell for now. You literally just said everything that was already said. Thanks, Makoto. Let's see, what's on this shelf? There are all kinds of dietary supplements and different medicines. The protein drink we found in the rec room probably came from the shelf. All the containers on the shelves are labeled with the letter A and a number. So I guess it can be considered that this is part of shelving unit section A. Huh? But wait. There's a bottle here that says Chem 9, C9. Could someone have put it here on accident? So on this shelf, there's a bunch of, it looks like a bunch of chemicals that have no idea what, it looks like a bunch of chemicals that I have no idea what they are. They're reagents, put simply. They're used in experiments to bring about a chemical reaction. How have you lived in such ignorance for so long? It must truly be bliss. Isn't that kind of harsh?
What?
What? You think studying science and mathematics have no practical application in the real world?
That's fine.
The words of a lifelong loser, which I suppose suits you well. I didn't even say that. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Right now I need to focus on the shelf. All the containers on this shelf are labeled with the letter B and a number. So I guess I consider this part of the shelving unit section B. Huh? I didn't see anything out of the ordinary. In which case, I don't think I have to worry too much about this shelf. On this shelf, one look and I can tell it's nothing but dangerous chemicals. These look like poisonous and other powerful chemicals. All the containers on the shelf are labeled with the letter C and a number. So I guess this can be considered shelving unit section C. I should try to find out more about this shelving unit. It looks like it's split into 3 sections. Section A has dietary supplements, Section B has reagents, and Section C has lethal chemicals. Sakura must have gotten the protein powder from Section A. But what concerns me is that in Section A, there was a bottle with a label from Section C. What was that bottle of poison from Section C doing in Section A? There's definitely something going on here. I've already taken a good look at the chem lab. Maybe I should take another look around the rec room. The button I wanna press is X, but I am stupid. Oh, I went to the wrong entrance. It's all we just running through the school like fucking Speed Racer. I was gonna say Speed Lightning.
Hey.
So, Makoto, how's your investigation going? I told Kyoko and Toko, I told Kyoko what Toko and Hiro had told me. I see. So along with Byakuya, they're all both claiming they didn't go see her. But it's all too convenient. Someone must be lying. Someone's lying?
Anyway.
Didn't you just say Hiro was acting super suspicious? Wouldn't that mean that he's lying? What? God damn it, Makoto. Well, I've made some progress of my own. Sakura's body, the shelf of magazines, and the Monokuma bottles. These 3 things have revealed new clues. You do well to look them over one more time. Or her feet. I gave that to Sakura. She got super upset when she found out about Genocide Jack had attacked me, right? So, after we left the nurse's office, I gave it to her. I thought it might help calm her down a little bit. According to Kyoko, there's something more to be discovered from Sakura's
Just a second.
body. Just staring off into space isn't going to help you figure anything out. Well, yeah, I know, but
Hey,
don't you think you might actually... Don't you think you might need to actually examine the body?
whew.
There's no getting around it. Unlike me, Kyoko didn't recoil at the thought of touching a dead body. She was completely unemotional. It's the kind of thing I've grown perversely used to, although there are still some times. I can't believe how calm you are. No matter how many times I see a dead body, I can't get used to it.
It's true.
That's totally normal. Then how can you?
So,
I imagine it's because I have plenty of opportunities to touch dead bodies in the past. Oh, necrophilia? Sorry, never mind.
hey,
More importantly, look here. Her shoes.
correct.
Yes. You see that yellow powder on her instep? Yeah, it stands out. It really stands out.
I see.
That powder is clue number 1. Yellow powder.
Hey,
The next is the wound to her head. Look carefully.
it's true.
Actually, even telling you that is incredibly difficult to spot, so let me just explain.
It would seem...
It would appear that she didn't suffer a single blow, but instead, she received 2 blows to the head. 2 blows?
Indeed.
Interesting, wouldn't you say? And there's one more interesting thing.
Correct.
Both of her hands were spotless. There's absolutely no trace of blood on either one.
It's true.
So, that's what I've learned from examining her body in detail. Kyoko's examination summary. I can't believe she was able to learn all that just by looking at her body. I don't think anyone but Kyoko could have pulled that off. There are shards of glass all around Sakura on the floor. This glass is all red. Okay, I'm pretty sure I read this before. So this must have originally been a bottle. Wow, you're super smart. And on top of that, near the Monokuma figure, it fits in the palm of my hand. Oh, I guess I have to actually look at these bottles. I think Kyoko said she found a new clue involving the Monokuma bottles. Something new. Something new. How did I know he was gonna say that? It's so stupid, dude. He's an idiot.
Hey,
So, did you figure it out? There's a hidden correlation between all these bottles. Pay careful attention and you're sure to find out. I mean, they're all chess pieces. Hey, Kyoko, can't you just tell me what it is?
so...
I don't mind guiding you towards clues, but giving you my conclusion isn't a good idea. Each person needs to come to their own conclusions so that everyone can have confidence in the outcome. It's not just because you don't trust me, right? No answer. I do trust you, to a degree. Otherwise I wouldn't have told you anything to begin with. Only to a degree. Monokuma bottles.
Hey,
Actually, there is one other thing about the Monokuma bottles that is bothering me. I'd like to do an experiment to confirm it. You don't mind helping me, right? An experiment?
anyway...
You gather up the pieces of the Monokuma bottle. Try to get the small pieces too. Huh? Are you sure it's okay to mess with the crime scene like that?
That doesn't matter.
I've already done a thorough investigation, so it's fine. And that obnoxious Byakuya is not here.
So then...
Anyway, I need to get something from the chem lab. While I'm gone, try to gather up all the glass. With that, Kyoko left the room. I really don't know what this is about, but what choice do I have? I better just do it. I took the broom and dustpan and got to work collecting all the broken bottle pieces. And just as I finished up, sorry to keep you waiting.
So then...
Is everything ready? Then, let's get to work. So, what kind of experiment are we doing?
In other words...
I got a scale from the chem lab. We're gonna use it to compare weights. Compare the weights of what? Oh my God, you're an idiot, dude. The pieces of glass you collected, and one of the Monokuma bottles still intact. Why would you want to do that? That's the point of the experiment. It'll make sense once we're done.
Listen.
First, let's compare the weight of 2 of the normal Monokuma bottles. It's balanced,
In other words,
which means each Monokuma bottle weighs the same amount. Which means the Monokuma figure inside are basically the same, and nothing else would really affect the weight.
so then,
Now, here comes the important part. Let's put all the pieces you picked up on one side of the scale. Now, what might you expect to see? Well, a normal assumption would be either they'll balance out or the pieces I collected will be lighter. I did my best to get them all, but there's a chance I could have missed something, or missed some here and there.
so then,
Okay, let's give it a try. It's gonna be heavier. Huh? The broken pieces are heavier? How is that possible?
I knew it.
Just as I thought. Huh?
In other words,
The results of the experiments and the correlation between each bottle. Put it all together.
hey,
And I do believe you will arrive at one very persuasive conclusion. So, what do you think? It's all on you. I have no idea. Kyoko said the magazine shelf was hiding a clue of some kind. Clue. Huh? This magazine is upside down. Did someone put it back that way on accident?
hey,
If something catches your eye, it's important for you to explore that in detail, don't you think? Yeah, you're right. I picked up the inverted magazine and flipped through it. This is one of the pages near the center of the magazine. A word had been written in blood, bold, bloody letters, and it said Toko. Could this be a dying message?
correct.
Then it would appear you found it. Kyoko, this is...
So,
It is indeed a dying message. Someone used their fingers to write it. A dying message.
however,
But just to be clear, I'm not the one who put it back upside down. It was already like that when I found it a little while ago. I made sure to put it exactly as I found it, for the benefit of others who might come looking. Hey, is that... It says Toko, right? Yeah, it looks like it. What the heck? Then she's the killer, right? Well, it hasn't been confirmed yet.
Forgive
It's settled. She's the killer for sure. I don't need any more clues. Just that's enough. It's not a possibility that someone's trying to set her up. That's conclusive evidence, right? We can use it to corner the killer. Excuse me. I can see what you would think that, or I can see why you would think that, but it just seems too easy. If anything, it makes me that more suspicious. Dying magazine. Oh, I guess I found everything. It's trial time. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, get ready for the trial of a
You
lifetime.
caught me sleeping. Your investigation was just so boring, I couldn't stay awake.
Okay, buddy,
Should
you
I
don't have
do
to be
it?
mean.
Is it okay? Can I? Okay, then let's begin the class trial. You know where to meet, right? Please go through the red door.
You say we know where to meet, and then you tell us where to meet. Come on, buddy. Oh shit, I'm not even reading this. Well, I mean, I was reading it, but not out loud, I mean. At this point, whatever happens will have to happen at the class trial. No, not whatever happens. I have to make something happen. Excuse me. See, I don't think Hiro, like I mentioned this before, but I don't think Hiro's smart enough to commit like a smart murder like that. And with the locked door situation, it makes me feel like maybe Sakura killed herself. Like I said that before, and like then was gonna like say that Hina killed her so that Hina can like, you know, well, no, that's not what I said. I said Hina killed her and she was happy with it. That's why she was smiling, dead, because then her friend would be able to get out. but I don't think Hina could kill them either. I don't think Byakuya and Kyoko are gonna kill anyone, if anything. Or not yet, at least. They'll might wait until the very end. The only other person would be Toko, or Genocide Jack, and it's not a Genocide Jack murderer. The ultimate martial artist! A locked room murder mystery!
What?
What the... Oh! I've just recently discovered the power of emoticons! Like, no matter how awful this is, if you toss in a smiley face, it turns positive.
Yes, indeed.
For example, you're at a picnic and you find a dead body. This is just plain creepy.
Well?
And how about the reverse? No matter how great something is, if you put it in a sad face, it makes it look super negative.
Yes, indeed.
For example, do you have 100 friends?
What?
He's right, that does make it seem sad.
I can't wait!
Now then, let's get on the elevator. I'll see you down there. Okay, Monokuma. What the hell was that? I don't get it.
Just the worst.
I don't get you guys. How can you act so casual after murdering someone?
Don't look at me.
I don't think I'm acting casual.
Don't be mean.
I mean, I didn't murder anyone. Oh, dude, you're so stupid. Yeah, I'm completely innocent. How dare you call me a murderer?
What the heck?
Whatever. Either way, the truth will be revealed soon enough. Because there could be no doubt one of us is the culprit. The killer. The one that murdered Sakura. She was stronger than anyone I know, and yet someone killed her. And that person is here. That person is one of us. Come on. It's time to put an end to this. I made my way towards the elevator, but with each step I took, I felt like I was moving further and further away from my goal. I could feel a chilling fear running through me, trying to make me rot from the inside out. No matter how many times I go through this, it never gets easier. We climb into our steel prison in total silence. We watched the elevator doors close, and it felt it. Jesus Christ. And felt it begin its sinister descent. The elevator lowered, uttering its all too familiar clunking sounds. It fell lower and lower. And as suddenly as always, the ride was over. Doors opened once again. Just the 6 of you, huh? Really? That's so few! You must be so lonely. You say that it's not your fault. We're all... you say it like it's not your fault we're all that's left. I wonder, will this class trial end with one less classmate again? Or will your school life continue? Or will your school life come to a complete end?
Now then.
I'm not reading things right. Now then, are you ready to begin? You know the drill. Find your assigned seats. And so, the curtain opened for the 4th time. Okay, buddy, we get it. It's deadly. I'm not reading this. I don't know if, did I get another skill? I don't think so. Oh yeah, vocabulary. Increases the bullet capacity, effects during bullet time battle. Yup. I got that vocab for days, baby.
Let's begin with a basic explanation. If you
Nope,
can figure out, then I'll
need an
put...
explanation.
We already know.
Whoa! Deja vu.
The one who killed Sakura is one of the people that hated her. Byakuya, Toko, or Hiro. It was one of you.
Idiot.
I had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I'd never kill someone. No way.
I don't want to hear your stupid excuses.
Hina seems really sure that one of those three is the killer. But she must have some reason for... Oh my god, dude, are you stupid? Okay, buddy.
It was one of you. One of you killed Sakura.
And what reason do you have for saying
Because you all had a motive. You hated her.
is that it? That doesn't make any sense.
That's the only reason you have for accusing us?
That's low. That's about as low as
You can get. It was one of you. One of you killed.
And what reason did...
Because you hated her.
Is that it?
That doesn't make any sense.
That's the only reason you have for accusing?
No, that's wrong.
Counter.
Another reason you suspect them is because Sakura wanted to meet with them, right?
Yeah, and that was right before she died. So there's no doubt about it. One of those three killed her.
I can't disagree with Hina. There's good reason to suspect all three of them. Then, does that mean one of them did it? Pocket trash.
The fact that Sakura wanted to meet with all three of them, there's no way that's not suspicious. One of you is absolutely guilty.
I don't deny that she wanted to meet with us, but I never went to see her.
I didn't either.
Well, Hero did because he has that
Yeah,
pocket trash.
same here. I never saw...
No, that's wrong. Hiro, when we were talking before, you dropped a small piece of paper, remember? It was white with red polka dots.
What's that got to do with anything?
Red polka dots? That's gotta be the wrapper from the candy I gave Sakura.
No, it's...
Hero,
Ever
you
since
look
we
so
got into
suspicious.
the warehouse, I totally monopolized that entire box of candy. So there's no way a single one of them was left in the warehouse.
In that case, Hiro, where did you get that piece of candy?
From Sakura! It's the only explanation.
Or you broke into fucking Hina's room.
Well, I mean... Yeah, sure I got it from her, but she gave it to me forever ago. It doesn't have anything to do with what happened to her.
When? When did she give it to you?
The last time you saw Sakura was... when Hina had to go to the nurse's office, right?
Yeah, so I must have got it sometime before then.
Impossible. But what Hiro said can't be right, because Sakura could have only gotten the candy after the incident in the nurse's office. And the reason for that was when Hina got the... Oh, well, when Hina got the candy, when Hiro... No. Okay. When Sakura got the candy.
I'm not sure about that, Hiro. Hina didn't actually give Sakura the candy till after she left the nurse's office. So if that was the last time you saw her, there's no reason you should have had that candy.
Damn it! I mean, what I meant was, oh, that's right! I did meet up with her in the rec room. You got a problem with that?
Why the sudden hostility?
But we just talked, that's all! I didn't do anything, you gotta believe me!
Well, maybe if you were honest about it to begin with.
You're acting incredibly
It does seem...
suspicious.
Yeah.
You're acting incredibly suspicious!
More hostility.
It's not just normal hostility! You're the real culprit! I even have proof!
Huh? Proof? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about her shining message.
What shining message could even
At the
be...
scene of the crime, she had written out Toko in her own blood, right? It was her dying message. Just like what you guys were talking about with Sayaka.
That's true. I saw it for myself.
See? See? Toko did it!
What are you saying? No way! I didn't do it!
You just don't know when you're beat, do ya?
Hiro, hold on. When did you see that dying message of hers?
Huh? Well, when we found Ogre's body. Duh.
But if you recall, Hina was very adamant about keeping you away from the scene of the crime.
Yup.
So it's hard to believe that's when you actually saw the message for yourself.
Huh? Hold on. But when Kyoko found the magazine with the message in it, it was on the magazine shelf, right? Yeah.
I got it! Kyoko, you found the magazine on the magazine shelf, right?
That's right. Looking through the shelf, I found the magazine with the dying message on it. I found it right there at the scene of the crime, after we'd started the investigation.
If that's true, then what Hiro just said doesn't really make sense, does it?
Doesn't make sense? What doesn't make sense? Everything I said makes perfect sense.
There's definitely something strange about it. Kyoko found the dying message during the investigation, in which case, that clearly contradicts what Hiro told us. Well, yeah, because he didn't even investigate because he couldn't.
I can tell you exactly when I found the dying message. When Ogre's body was discovered.
And I can tell you when I found the dying message. It was only after I found the magazine tucked away on the magazine shelf. When I pulled it out, I saw her final words.
What's your problem? What I said makes total sense.
He said he saw the dying message when he first found the body. But at that time, where was the magazine?
I can tell you
I need to
exactly
absorb
when I
the bullet. How
found
do I do it again?
When Ogre's body was discovered.
And I can tell you when I found the dying message. It was only after the investigation had begun. I found the magazine tucked away on the magazine shelf. When I pulled it out, I saw her final words.
What's your problem? What I said makes total sense.
I can tell you exactly when I found the dying when Ogre's body was discovered.
Oh no, it blocked me.
And I can tell you when I found the dying message. It was only after I found the magazine tucked away on the magazine when I pulled it out.
What's your problem? What I said makes total sense.
I'll do it.
I can tell you exactly where I found the when Ogre's body was discovered.
Yeah, hit it.
No, that's wrong. When
He wouldn't have been
Sakura's
able to
body
see
was
the
found,
body
that
yeah.
magazine was sitting on the shelf nearby. That's where Kyoko found it, after we'd begun the investigation. And you weren't at the murder scene, so there's no way you could have seen it then. Tell us the truth, Hiro. When did you see the message?
Hold on. You're focusing on the wrong part. Why does it matter when I saw it? All you gotta do is read the Vienna sausage Ogre left us, and we know who the killer is. Toko!
What? All you gotta do is read the Vienna sausage Ogre left us? What the fuck does that mean? Am I stupid now?
I don't even know where to begin with that one.
He's just trying to confuse us.
Actually, can we even be sure Sakura wrote that message in the first place?
Yeah? I think we can all agree Ogre wrote that message. 100%, without a doubt, she wrote it. And this is me talking, so you know it's true.
Okay, buddy. Without a doubt? No. I absolutely do doubt it. There's no way Sakura wrote that message. Kyoko said her hands were clean. Oh,
Show me the proof. I'm at least 30% right. The occult is bullcrap. Give it a rest. I'm at least 30% right. The occult is bullcrap. The end is nigh. Show me the proof. I'm at least 30% right. The occult is bullcrap. Give it a rest. I'm at least 30% right. Show me the proof.
This should prove it. I'm completely unconvinced that Sakura wrote that dying message. Because if you look at it, the message was almost certainly written using a finger. But both of her hands were completely free of blood.
Say what?
Then, who did write it?
Hiro could very well have written it himself. That would explain how he knew about the message in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Ah! He admits it!
I figured as much.
But why would you write something like that?
Because I killed her!
You're admitting to killing her?
Please, just let me explain what happened. I got Ogre's note, and so I headed to the rec room right before noon, just like it said.
You just did exactly as the note asked? What a fool.
And when I got there...
Sorry, but do you mind waiting? I asked a couple other people to meet me as well. Okay. Would you like a piece of candy? It might help give you some energy. Oh, sure, thanks.
And that's all she said. After that, we just stood around in awkward silence. Suddenly, I heard her mutter something.
This is it? I'm going to end it today. I'm going to end everything.
As soon as I heard that, I just knew. I knew she was gonna try and kill me. She was gonna kill me and make her escape. So of course I freaked out, and then... I saw my only chance. I grabbed the Monokuma bottle from the shelf and smashed it across her head. I hit her from behind before she had any idea what was happening. Then she just went limp. I didn't see her move again after that. Once it was over, I pulled myself together. I realized if I didn't do something, I'd be caught and executed. So I wrote Toko's name in blood across a magazine on the table and I ran away.
I can't believe you! You're the worst! I hope you die!
Okay, I guess he is capable of murder, but I still don't think that killed her.
That's what happened. Go ahead. Roast me, boil me, do whatever you want.
Oh, that's cool as fuck.
You're not gonna get off that easy. If we're ready to vote now, right? We know who did it.
Wait, why does it give you that option but not
No,
let you keep going?
I think
guess
there's
you
more to
maybe
Hiro's
put it-
story.
Okay, you put it on auto and then you go into that mode, right?
What are you talking about? What else could there be?
It's on auto though, what the fuck?
There's
Whatever.
one thing that Hiro's story just now doesn't explain.
Ah, the extra weight.
And until we figure that part out, we can't consider
Right?
the
I don't
case
know.
closed.
So what is it that Hiro did that doesn't make sense? What would he had to do after writing the magazine? What would he have had to do after writing the message? Oops, doesn't make sense. Yeah, why the message is
got it.
hidden?
That's true. Everything you just said. It doesn't explain why the magazine was hidden, does it?
Huh?
By the time the body was discovered, the magazine had been picked up and put on the shelf. Why would you take the time to write that message, then stick it somewhere we might not find it?
Oh. Well, I didn't hide it. I'm sure I just left it sitting there on the table.
Really?
He's lying! He's gotta be lying!
I don't see any reason he would lie now, after already confessing to the crime.
Then, he's not lying?
Assuming he's telling the truth, someone else must have put the magazine back on the shelf.
I actually don't. I wish his voice was snobbier. I don't. It's weird. It sounds like he's directing the news. Assuming he was telling the truth, someone else must have put the magazine back on the shelf.
In other words, at least one other person was in the rec room both before and after the incident.
I don't think
Now,
there's any
because we'll send
question
it back. I
about
don't
that.
know. That was weird. Maybe just the inflection that the voice actor gave during that
Then-
line.
Who was it?
If they went to the trouble of hiding the magazine, they must not have liked what was written on it.
Someone who wouldn't like what was written on it, or had been written. There's only one choice.
I
Toko.
got it! It had to be Toko, right?
What?
Who else would want to hide the magazine other than the person whose name was written on it?
Is he right, Toko? Did you really go to the rec room?
Why would I have... Wait, but more important, that doesn't even matter. We already know who did it, right? Hiro just admitted it.
That's right. I killed her.
No, you didn't.
Who asked you?
I don't doubt Hiro attacked Sakura with the bottle.
Yep.
But that's not where this case ends.
Because it doesn't explain the protein. It doesn't explain the locked room. It doesn't explain anything about the case. Still don't know anything about the yellow powder and why that bottle was broken.
What do you mean?
What he means is that Hiro isn't the killer.
You can't be serious. That's just... I don't believe it.
Hiro, tell us what happened one more time. If we go through it once more, it should become clear he's not
And she was
Sakura's
hit
killer.
twice. I don't know if I said that, but
So, what do you want me to do?
Just tell us what happened one more time when you attacked Sakura.
I don't really see why, but okay.
we haven't reached the end of the case yet. Just yet, Hiro isn't the real killer. And I have to prove that.
I didn't want to, but I did it.
Oops.
I grabbed a Monokuma bottle from the shelf nearby. And I hit Ogre from behind before she could do anything.
You hit her from behind. And you only hit her once. Is that right?
Yeah, just once.
No.
After the first swing, the bottle shattered.
No.
And
See? Hiro really is the killer!
I didn't want to, but
I grabbed a Monokuma and I hit Ogre from behind.
before she could...
You hit her from... And you only hit...
Yeah.
Just once.
No, that's wrong. If Sakura died from Hiro's single blow, that doesn't explain why she had 2 head wounds.
Huh? 2?
That's right. She had 2 separate wounds on her head.
And remember, this girl examines dead bodies as a hobby. Personally, I'm inclined to believe her.
But I only hit her once. How could she have 2 wounds?
2 wounds means she was struck twice. What's more, both attacks must have come from a Monokuma bottle.
Hold on. How can you know that just from some cuts on her head? She was attacked twice with 2 Monokuma bottles?
It's not just because of her head wounds. It's also because of the Monokuma bottles themselves. There's something very suspicious about
Oh
those
yeah,
bottles.
I didn't even realize it. Dude, that was slow of me. There's 2 bottles missing.
Once you understand that point, you'll understand why 2 separate Monokuma bottles must have been used. Think back. After the incident, there were 4 Monokuma bottles left on the shelf. And we found pieces of a bottle on the ground, along with the chess piece it had inside.
That was the bottle Hiro hit Sakura with, right?
For now, just note that there were 4 intact bottles and 1 broken bottle. But originally, there were 6 bottles in total, meaning 1 has gone missing.
But how can you know for sure there were 6 bottles?
That's easy. If you look at what the bottles all had in common, it should become clear.
Yep, there should have been a queen. Correlation. Okay, yeah, it's the chess piece. Okay, yeah. I need an S. Now I need a P. Not really.
Now I understand. That's it. The chess pieces. Inside each bottle, there was a Monokuma figure holding a different chess piece.
King, rook, bishop, pawn. I definitely remember seeing each of those.
And the piece that was inside the broken bottle we found was the knight, if I remember.
So, what's that matter?
I guess you don't know too much about chess, do you? Then let me explain. In chess, there are 6 different pieces. The king, the queen, the rook, knight, bishop, and pawn. What was left intact at the crime scene were the king, rook, bishop, and pawn. Just those 4. And on the ground was the knight.
Oh, so the queen is missing.
So we only have evidence for 5 bottles at the scene. Well, one apparently went missing.
What does chess have to do with anything?
Yeah, shogi is way better.
Okay, guys.
Yeah! Wait, no, that's not what I mean. So, let's say a bottle did go missing. There's still no evidence that has anything to do with this case. That bottle could have disappeared any time before the murder.
No. It's clear that the missing bottle is connected to this case.
How is it clear?
Think about what state the missing bottle must have been in. Maybe then you'll understand.
With the missing bottle. It was excited.
I got it! The bottle must have been broken.
What makes you so sure?
Because there was evidence
of
at
her
the scene that
experiments.
supports it.
Huh?
Because it was heavier.
That's right. We found evidence that shows there was more than just one broken bottle at the scene.
And what is this evidence?
It was just a single broken bottle, and it wasn't just a single broken bottle.
I got it! Earlier, Kyoko and I did a little experiment. We compared the weight of the broken bottle pieces at the scene to one of the unbroken bottles. And what we found was that the collection of pieces was heavier. And the reason for that is
Because there was extra glass.
there was actually more than one bottle's worth of shattered glass.
So from this, we can surmise that 2 bottles were actually broken at the scene of the crime. But someone did their best to clean up the pieces of one of the bottles, along with the figure inside. But when they did, they must have left behind a few too many pieces, which is only natural. They certainly had no way to measure the exact right number of pieces to remove.
But why would they have to try and get rid of it like that anyway?
Because of what it would reveal about the case.
There's no doubt that the second missing Monokuma bottle is involved in this case. It must have been her some bowling aficionado. What?
I got it! The bottle that was removed from the scene was used the second time Sakura was attacked.
The second wound on Sakura's head came from that second bottle. Given all the evidence, this is the only possible conclusion. From there,
Oops.
we can conclude that it wasn't Hiro who delivered that second blow. Wouldn't you agree, Toko? And there's the matter of the magazine. You must have been in the rec room when the incident took place.
Wait! I admit, maybe there was a second attack, but there's no evidence I had anything to do with it.
No way! You killed her! I'm sure of it!
Shut up! Until 2 seconds ago, you were claiming you killed her!
I'm not afraid to admit when I'm wrong. That's just the kind of guy I am. Plus, I just remembered something that proves it.
Okay, fine. Let's hear it.
It was right after I got Ogre's note. I was kind of nervous about it, so I went to the rec room early. You know, to stake it out or whatever. So I was waiting there, and that's when I saw her. I saw Toko go into the rec room.
You did?
Pretty soon, Ogre showed up, and she went into the rec room. I assumed Toko was still in there, so I figured everything would be okay. That's why I headed in. But when I got inside, Ogre was all alone. Toko had disappeared.
And you just now decided to share that with us?
After the shock of thinking I'd killed someone, I forgot all about it.
Could someone tighten the screws on his brain? I think they've come loose.
So, Toko, where the heck did you disappear to?
You
She was
don't
inside
know
the
what you're
locker.
talking about. I never went in the rec room.
I'm sure she didn't disappear, but maybe she found somewhere to hide.
What? Hiding in the rec room? Don't be ridiculous. Whoa. Why are you all ganging up on me? You're all nothing but vermin.
No, it's not ridiculous at all. I need proof that shows Toko was hiding in the rec room, and I have it. She left it there for anyone to find. New element. Yeah, tell me. Y button during your final strike without a second thought. But from now on, you're gonna have to pay a little extra attention to your finishing blow. Now you have to choose to prepare the proper truth bullet. Okay, buddy, really?
It's a lie. I admit nothing. I hate you. I curse you. No, no, no! That's enough! I admit nothing. I curse you. I curse you. It's a lie!
How do I...
That's enough! It's a lie! I admit nothing. I hate you. I curse you. No, no, no! That's enough! I admit nothing. That's enough!
This should prove it. Did you know someone left a handprint behind on the inside of the locker? They must have been hiding in there and put their hand on the wall without thinking. Does this handprint look familiar, Toko?
No, it doesn't.
Okay then, let's just compare it to your hand, shall we? That'll clear everything up, right?
Yeah!
Stop wasting my time. Just tell us the truth.
Okay, it's my handprint.
Damn! She just straight up admitted it.
Well, yeah, because her daddy told her to. That was weird. I'm not gonna... Okay.
Then you killed Sakura!
No, I swear, there's no way!
Out with it.
I probably did kill her.
Straight up again!
Wait, what do you mean probably?
Give us the details, Toko. What happened between you and Sakura?
Talk. Now.
After I read Sakura's note, I decided to go there early, so I went into the rec room. I didn't know what she might do if I didn't go, but I was too scared to face her head on. So I figured I'd just sneak in first and hide in the locker.
Then, did you see what happened? Did you see me hit her?
Yes, and I saw you write my name. I saw you forge her dying message.
Well, that's awkward.
So after he left, I jumped out of the locker and put the magazine back on the shelf.
But when you did, you put it back upside down.
I didn't mean to. I was in a hurry.
Imbeciles, all of you.
Forget all that. Why did you attack Sakura?
After I put the magazine back, I heard a sound behind me like a monster growling. And when I turned around, there was Sakura, covered in blood and staring right at me. When I saw that blood, I fainted. Right there in front of the magazines. I don't remember what happened after that. If you want to know more, you'll have to ask her.
Her? You mean...
Haha, guess who's back?
It was your fault after all!
My fault, Master's fault. When our faults combine, they soar to even greater heights.
Just answer the question. Did you kill Sakura?
Well, to be honest, Miss Morose and me don't actually share our memories. So I can't really say what was going on. But I was just minding my own business, sleeping peacefully when someone shook me awake. Was it a prince paying me a visit? I wondered. So I opened my eyes to see... splatter everywhere! I was not prepared for that. And, well, I guess it took me by surprise. I got so startled, I smacked her with the first thing I could find, which I guess was a bottle. Sakura was just worried about you, and you're terrible! No, she's terrible! Thanks to her, I murdered someone who wasn't an adorable boy for the first time ever!
And when it was all over, you collected the pieces of the bottle to get rid of the evidence, didn't you?
I wasn't about to die for some woman! If I'm gonna go down, I want it to be for killing Master!
Just go away and die your meaningless death alone. Don't drag me into it.
But I just can't catch a break, you know? Fate's got it out for me. Because normally, Sakura should have been able to dodge my attack no problem!
Even as strong as she is, she must have still been reeling from Hiro's attack.
Hey, come on! That's... you know... But anyway, I'm not the one that killed Ogre! So that's good!
So that's good? Keep talking like that and Hina's
Well
gonna...
then, that's that. Let's start the vote.
Huh? I thought for sure you'd have some words for Hiro on that one.
What's wrong? Come on, everyone, we're ready to vote, right? Let's do this.
No, not quite yet.
Huh? Not yet? Why not yet?
Don't you think there was something odd about Toko's story? I mean, you had to have noticed.
Odd? Huh?
Hiro's attack, and then Toko's, but that still wasn't the end of it.
It wasn't?
Tell us your story one more time. Tell us what happened after you fainted. Then even this gaggle of idiots should understand what I'm talking about.
Your wish is my command, darling.
It's not over, is it? The one who killed Sakura is...
I was just sleeping peacefully. And all of a sudden, Sakura was right there in front of me. I remember waking up right in front of the magazine shelf.
And you were taken by surprise when you saw Ogre covered in blood. So you smashed her head in with the Monokuma bottle?
You got it! I smashed her good!
And where did the attack take place?
Right where I woke up. I killed her there in front of the shelf.
Oops.
I was just sleeping peacefully. And all of a sudden, I remember waking up.
You were taken by surprise when you...
So you smashed her.
You got it!
And where did the attack take place?
Right where I woke up. I killed her there in front of the shelf.
No, that's wrong. We found Sakura sitting upright in a chair. If the blow by the shelf was the cause of death, there's no explanation why she was in that chair.
So, you finally noticed.
That's just another lie from a bloodthirsty serial killer.
Are you sure you didn't attack her while she was sitting in the chair?
No, I'm sure she's telling the truth. Anyone who saw the murder scene should think the same way.
That has to be it. The evidence that proves there was an attack in front of the magazine shelf.
I got it! Sakura was definitely attacked in front of the shelf. The blood stain by the magazines is proof of that.
Then she must have moved the body after she killed her, right? All to make it look like I did it. Because when I hit her, she was sitting in the chair.
Hey, come on now, look at me. I can't carry anything heavier than my own scissors. There's no way I could move a muscle-bound heavyweight like that!
Then what's the deal?
Well, are you still convinced the case has come to an end?
But...
Plus, the biggest mystery of all, the locked room,
Right?
still has yet to be explained. Until we take care of that, we can't say this case has been properly settled.
Oh, that part's easy. After she killed Sakura, Toko just hid in the locker again.
Huh. So she just hid in there till everyone showed up and opened the door? And while everything was all confused and hectic, she just snuck out of the locker into the group.
No, I don't think that's possible.
The reason why there's no way Toko was hiding in the locker is because
I got it!
I saw it for myself.
Even before we opened the door to the rec room, Hina and I both got a look inside. And at that point, the locker was already open. So obviously Toko couldn't have been hiding in there.
Okay then, where was she hiding?
I don't know! What's this whole locked room thing about anyway?
How do you not know? You killed her!
I think the fact that I don't know proves I didn't kill her. Thank you very much. You're lying!
No, she's not. I've been saying all along, there's still more to this case.
But if Genocide Jill didn't do it, that means Ogre didn't die from the shot to the head.
And
Well, I can't imagine what else could have killed her.
that's because you're overlooking vital information.
Could we really be missing something so important? If there's any possible explanation, maybe it's...
What was it that killed Ogre? If it wasn't from Genocide Jill's attack, then what was it?
There's no other possible cause. What killed Sakura? I can't think of anything other than the shot to her head. So you're dead set on blaming me,
Oh
huh?
yeah, it said about the vomiting blood.
What?
Right? Am I able to... There's evidence of a strong blow to the head. No other injuries were noted. However, it seems at some point the victim suffered from violent vomiting of blood. And it never says that she was killed by blunt force, like other things.
If it wasn't from Genocide Jill, then what was it?
There's no other possible cause. What killed Sakura? I can't think of anything other than the shot.
No, that's wrong! According to the Monokuma file, Sakura had vomited blood. I think we can assume there's a chance this was related to her cause of death. In fact, there was even a trace of blood left around her mouth.
Well, I mean, maybe when she got hit with the bottles, she cut the inside of her mouth.
If that's all it was, the file wouldn't have specified vomited blood. Not to mention, I didn't find any cuts inside her mouth.
You even checked in there? God, you really are into dead bodies!
No, I'm not into dead bodies. What I'm into is solving mysteries.
But if there wasn't a cut or anything, then what made her vomit blood?
Some sort of reaction within her body. Most likely, Sakura was poisoned.
Poisoned?
Yup.
That's right. This is the conclusion I've arrived at, and so there can be no mistake.
You're making me go all weak in the knees! She was poisoned? It isn't possible!
Is it really so hard to believe? Then let me explain exactly how the culprit was able to poison her.
You can explain it?
Of course, if you don't mind.
Everyone quiet! Shut up and listen to Master!
But you're the only one talking.
The key to unlocking this mystery was hiding in the chem lab up on the 4th floor.
Huh? Not in the rec room? Then I could have found it all along.
You never would have, since you gave up on the search the moment you were barred from the crime scene.
Well, yeah, good point.
There's a big shelving unit in the chem lab that houses a variety of mixtures and chemicals. And that's where I found this.
Is that the poison?
It's not an especially powerful poison, but it'll still kill you if you drink an entire bottle. But the specific properties don't matter. What does matter is where I found it.
Where'd you find it?
The shelf is divided up into 3 sections, A, B, and C. In Section A, dietary supplements. In B, reagents. And in C, a variety of lethal chemicals.
And that's where the poison came from? Section C?
Well, that's the question, isn't it?
The bottle of poison Byakuya just showed us. I'm sure I know where he got it. It was on the same shelf as the supplements, I'm positive.
I got it!
Yep, Section A, baby.
The poison was actually in Section A, wasn't it?
Huh? But you just said that Section A was for supplements or what?
Strange, isn't it? Why would there be a bottle of poison mixed in with all those nutritional additives?
Yeah, so? Why?
Because the culprits switched it out. That's why.
What do you mean?
I mean, this.
I couldn't believe my eyes. Byakuya put the bottle of poison to his lips and... We were so shocked at what we were seeing, all we could do was stand there and watch. But as if it were the most natural thing in the world, Byakuya was as calm as ever.
Ugh, that tastes awful.
Oh no! Master's in real trouble! You have to drink some water! You can't just swallow powder! It'll stick to your throat!
Idiot! He just swallowed poison! We need to make him spit it out!
The flavor certainly makes me want to spit it out. What's so high quality about this stuff?
Huh? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the protein, of course.
Protein?
Can I see that bottle for a second?
Sure. Do whatever you like.
Kyoko took the bottle from Byakuya and scraped out a bit of the contents on one finger. She touched the finger to her tongue.
It's protein powder.
Huh?
Correct. That wasn't poison in the bottle, but harmless protein powder. Which makes one wonder, the poison that should have been in that bottle, where did it go?
The bottle of poison was actually filled with protein powder, which mean that conversely the poison must have been in... Could it be? Oh, drink.
Now I understand.
It's like, I didn't know what they wanted me to spell it first, but then once I saw the
Poison
made
must have been
sense.
poured into the protein can. If the protein's in the poison bottle, it seems only logical to assume the reverse is true, right?
Absolutely. The contents of each container were switched. So the protein was in the bottle of poison, and the poison was in the protein can. Once you accept that, it becomes obvious how the culprit was able to get Sakura to drink the poison.
Holy crap!
All they had to do was hand her something there at the scene, and she was happy to drink the poison herself.
Something at the scene.
I got it!
Protein drink, what?
You're saying they gave her a protein drink, right?
A protein drink which actually contained a deadly poison.
What?
That's all it took to kill Sakura. That is the true cause of death.
You know, I do remember Ogre saying that protein stuff was good for all kinds of aches and pains. So maybe she took it to try and help with the whole bleeding head wound thing.
But what was offered to her instead was a bottle full of poison. And I already know exactly who swapped the mixtures.
For real? Who was it?
Evidence revealing who replaced the two materials was left in the chem lab for anyone to see.
Evidence that shows who switched them. It must be what we found in front of the shelf.
I got it! The footprints left behind in front of the shelf. That's the evidence you're talking about, isn't it?
I visited the chem lab this morning, and there were definitely no footprints there at that point. They must have appeared around the time of the murder, which leaves no doubt that they're connected. What's more, the footprints were in front of Section A, where I found the bottle meant for the poison. The culprit must have gone to Section A to swap the poison and protein, leaving their footprints behind. And given how clear the prints were, figuring out who they belong to will pose no problem. All we have to do is check everyone's footprints right now. Then we'll see who...
It was me. The footprints. They're mine.
Hina?
If you're all gonna find out anyway, I'd rather you hear it straight from me, you know?
Then, Ogre's killer was...
Yep. I did it. I killed Sakura.
Just as I suspect. The footprints were made by a pair of sneakers. There was no mistaking it.
Nope, see, this is playing out. She waited until the last minute to say she killed her, so people think she did it. They're gonna choose her. She didn't actually do it. They're all gonna die, and doesn't that person live? I don't know.
And the only people here who wear sneakers are...
I got it! Me and Hina are the only ones. Oh, so Byakuya. That explains why you...
These footprints must be... Makoto, are they yours? No! Okay then. Let me see your shoes and I'll confirm their size myself.
If the footprints didn't belong to Makoto, that left only one other possibility.
Just Hina.
Plus, Hina's been acting strange ever since the trial began. You were in an awful rush to get to the vote, weren't you? This whole time, you've been focused on pinning the crime on someone else, haven't you?
I can't believe it.
What about it can't you believe?
Well, it's just... the two of them were so close.
That's likely exactly why it turned out this way. Because they were so close, Sakura didn't think twice about it when Hina handed her the concoction. Hina used that trust to kill her. She deceived the victim, and she tried to deceive all of us. I have to say, Hina, coming from you, this was a particularly nasty little scheme.
Hina, is it true? Did you really kill Sakura? And if you did, why? Why would you do that?
I found her. There in the rec room. She was hurt. She asked me to bring her that protein drink. But when I went to get the powder from the chem lab, it just occurred to me all of a sudden.
Now's my chance to kill her. That's what you thought, right? That's when you switched out the protein powder, and that's when you gave her the poisoned mixture.
And then she downed it. All at once. And then...
Hold it! I'm not convinced.
You're not about to claim she wouldn't kill a close friend, are you? You still don't get it, do you? The game we're playing here isn't so kind. Honeyed words like friendship don't matter here. What matters is outwitting the opponent, defeating them. Not a person alive would sacrifice themselves for another. In the end, we're all in it for ourselves. Just like how this girl sacrificed Sakura to save herself.
You say that, but I'm still not convinced.
Sorry if I'm quiet.
How many times do you plan to repeat yourself?
Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying it because of some misguided sentimentalism, but there's still that one unsolved mystery, and I'm not convinced.
The locked room.
Are you talking about the locked room problem?
Hina, if you really are the killer, explain it. How did you create that locked room?
Well... that doesn't matter. Just because I'm guilty, that means I have to tell you everything?
No, it doesn't. But the fact that you won't tell us concerns me.
Surely you're not... Do you honestly think Hina didn't actually kill her?
And if I do?
Impossible. She switched out the mixtures. She's the culprit. There's no way you can doubt this.
Are you sure about that? Even ignoring the fact that I don't want to believe it, it just doesn't fit.
What doesn't fit?
I mean, why would someone leave such a clear clue like a footprint? It's too obvious, too easy.
He's right. It makes it look like you wanted people to suspect you.
I was just nervous. So, I didn't notice I'd left a footprint.
You didn't notice?
Yeah, that's just how it was. What can I do?
Listen, Hina. Could you go into a bit more detail? Tell us more about when you switched the poison and the protein.
How come? That doesn't matter.
Hina, please, I'd like to know too.
Fine.
Waste your time if you like. It's clear that Hina is the culprit. There's nobody else to suspect. Nobody else could have possibly done it.
Go ahead, Hina. Start from the moment you arrived at the chem lab.
Well, right away I went to Section C and got the poison.
And is that when you spilled the powder in front of that part of the shelf?
Yeah. When I opened the bottle, I dropped it like an idiot.
I see. Okay then, go on.
So then I moved to Section A and got the protein powder, and that's where I switched them. Once I was done with that, I took the protein can that had the poison in it and left the room. But I accidentally put the bottle filled with protein powder back on the wrong shelf. And because of that, everything I did got found out. And that's it.
That story you just told. First you went to Section C to get the poison. Then moved to Section A to get the protein, right? Meaning you went from Section C to Section A. Do I have that correct?
Yeah.
But if that's true, isn't that a little strange?
Can you repeat that series of events?
What's wrong with you, Big Mac? You're being awfully pushy.
Big Mac.
It's the same thing no matter how many times you hear it. How long until you're satisfied?
How long? Until we figure it out. Until I uncover the truth of this case.
First, I went to Section C. That's when I grabbed the poison.
And you spilled some of the powder on the ground in front of the shelf.
Yeah. When I grabbed the bottle, I dropped it.
Okay, and then?
I moved from Section C to Section A. And that's where I switched the powders. Once I was done switching them, I put the bottle filled with the protein powder back in Section A. Then I took the bottle with the poison in it and left the chem lab. That's all there is to it.
Honestly, that's enough. How much longer must we tolerate this?
First, I went to Section C. That's when I grabbed the poison.
And you spilled some of the powder on the ground in front of the shelf.
Yeah. When I grabbed the bottle, I dropped it.
Okay, and then?
I moved from Section C to Section A. And that's what...
Honestly, don't know. I'm confused. Okay, I know what happened. She didn't actually... She might have switched them, but I'm pretty sure Sakura was in there with her, and it was okay with this happening. With her with Hina poisoning her. So that she can die happy, because that's what she wanted, I think, anyways. And then... You also have then... She's the killer, and as long as she can get away with it, then she doesn't die. I don't know. But then she's gonna die here. So I don't know, man.
Once I was done, I put the bottle filled with, then I took the bottle and left the, that's all there is.
Honestly, that's enough. How much longer must we tolerate this?
First I went to section C. That's when I grabbed the poison and you spilled some of the, yeah.
Okay.
And then I moved from section C.
No, that's wrong.
Yes. Dude, that was like the hardest one so far. I honestly wasn't.
You said you
100%
went to
sure
get
right
the
away.
poison from section C. And that's where you spilled the powder, right?
Yeah? What about it?
And after that, you said you moved from section C to section A to get the protein. But the footprints left at the scene were not moving from section C to section A. That contradicts what you just said.
What?
Then maybe she moved in some weird direction on purpose to disguise her movements?
No, that can't be it. Remember what Hina just said?
I was just nervous, so I didn't notice I'd left footprints.
What the? Hina, what's the meaning of this?
Well,
You lied to us. Plain and simple.
Oh, Sakura grabbed the poison.
If you look at the footprints, your movements in the chem lab are obvious. The powder had already been spilled when you came in.
I got
and
it.
You went straight to section A.
I got it. She never actually intended to. I feel like Sakura knocked over that bottle on accident, caused the mess. I don't know. I was gonna say Sakura already had this all planned out. I don't know. I
So
feel
you
like Sakura
never
killed
went to
herself.
section C. Whatever you did there, it only involved section A.
well, you see...
What the hell? What's going on here?
Ooh, he's.
And the footprints
He's
aren't
freaking
the
out.
only problem with her account.
What?
Before I explain that part, I'd like to submit some new evidence.
New evidence? Impossible, there can't be.
Are you sure? After all, you're the one that gave it to me.
I did?
It was hidden inside the bottle of poison you gave me. I'm amazed you, of all people, would miss such a vital clue. A truly grave oversight.
Just say it already! What is it you think you found?
I found this.
Huh? A piece of
It had
glass?
sunk to the bottom of the bottle. And the hidden clue was exposed, thanks to you ingesting the powder. I couldn't have solved the mystery without you. So, thank you for that.
But, what is it?
Oh, you still don't realize? Well then. Makoto, why don't you explain it?
Huh? Me?
Fine. If you really do know, explain the meaning of that shard of glass.
The shard of light blue glass Kyoko found in the bottle of poison. I think. Well, it's not that because it's red. They're both. I guess the
I
window.
got it.
What? How did
It's
a piece
part
of
of the
window
window
get
from
in
the rec room door, right?
The window?
The window we broke to get in was light blue, just like that. So I think that must be it.
You're right. It must be. Of course, that leads to another question. How did a shard of glass from the window get inside this bottle of poison?
What's so strange about that?
What's strange is that, according to what Hina told us,
Where was the bottle of poison? Where was it in the bottle of poison should have been when I broke in the rec window, according to what Hina told us. I have no idea what the fuck I just read. Hina said she left the bottle of poison in the rec room, right? Are you sure that's what she said? Say
Shoot.
harder.
what's strange...
Okay, so where she left the bottle of poison. Yeah, she left it in Okay, section A.
I got it! The bottle of poison was left on the shelf in the chem lab. That is what you said, right, Hina?
Said a brain fart.
And yet, somehow a piece of glass from the rec room window made its way into the bottle.
Everything Hina told us was a lie?
In reality, that bottle of poison most definitely found its way to the rec room. It was there at least until the window got broken. In other words, when the locked room was unlocked. There's no other way to explain the presence of that glass in that bottle.
And then, once the room was opened, the bottle somehow got moved back to the shelf in the chem lab. Meanwhile, the protein can we found at the crime scene was planted there. That had to be after the locked room was opened. In other words, after Sakura died.
Wait, hold on. You're moving too fast.
So Hina never actually poisoned. Yeah, so Sakura poisoned
I'll
herself.
grant you, the
Calm.
bottle of poison may well have been in the rec room when it was locked. But how can you say the protein can was put there after the room was unlocked? We already know she was given the protein can with the poison inside, right? If that can wasn't there when she died, how did she get poisoned?
You're right. We do need to explain that. But before we do, there's something I'd like to confirm with everyone here.
Huh?
It has to do with the protein can. After Sakura's body was discovered, did anyone move it or trip over it or anything like that?
What are you talking about? Is this some kind of loaded question?
Not at all. Just answer to the best of your ability.
Because it wasn't there.
Well, no, not that I remember.
Yeah, me either.
Not me.
Same here. Yeah, me either.
Okay then, that settles it. That proves that the protein can found its way to the murder scene after the room was opened.
Oh, come on! How can you say that? How can you know what I don't know?
The reason she can say that is because there's evidence. There's proof that someone brought the protein can to the rec room after it was opened. There is.
When it comes to that protein can, there's not a doubt in my mind. Until the locked room was unlocked, it absolutely was not in there.
So you're saying someone planted it there after we got the door open?
No. No, that's impossible! It had to have been in there the whole time! It had to be! It was in there before the rec room was unlocked!
When the locked room was unlocked, in other words, when I broke the window. If I concentrate on that.
When it comes to that protein can, there's not a doubt in my mind. Until the locked room was unlocked, it absolutely was not in there.
So you're saying someone planted it there after we got the door open?
No. No, that's impossible! It had to have been in there the whole time! It had to be! It was in there before the rec room—
No, that's wrong. You remember how there was broken glass scattered all around the room, right?
Of course! It came from the window you broke to get in!
Well, those pieces weren't just scattered around the protein can. We also found pieces underneath the can.
What?
And this proves it. It shows that the can must have been put down on the floor after the window was broken. So it had to be after we got into the room.
I see. So that's your explanation. Kyoko,
Damn, man, this dude
earlier when you
shook.
asked if anyone had moved the can or tripped over it,
If that were the case, that would explain the can being on top of the glass.
So you asked everyone about it to eliminate that possibility right out of the gate.
And that's made everything, as long as it was a locked room, it only contained the bottle of poison, and not the protein can. But once the room was opened up, they were switched, and as a result, the protein can wound up in the rec room, and the bottle of poison returned to the chem lab.
if that's all true, then why did Sakura drink the poison? I thought we all agreed she was tricked into drinking it because of the protein can.
No, that's not why. The only explanation is she drank it from its original bottle, knowing exactly what it was.
Precisely. She was alone in a locked room. All she had was the poison. What other possibility is there?
You're saying she drank it knowing what it was?
Yup, she killed
Such
herself.
a ridiculous fiction is...
Exactly what happened.
Then tell us already. Sorry. Please, tell us.
Ooh.
Before we get to that,
He's
we
recognizing.
need to clarify one
Maybe
other
I
thing.
shouldn't be a dick all the time.
We need to establish who exactly got the poison from the chem lab and took it to the rec room.
It was Hina, right? She took it and gave it to Ogre.
What do you think, Makoto?
The one who got the poison from the chem lab and brought it to the rec room is Sakura.
I got it! I think it was Sakura herself.
Huh? So Sakura, who was apparently murdered, just poisoned herself? What are you talking about? There's no way!
On the contrary, we know for a fact she went to the chem lab, right to the section full of poisons.
You're lying! Stop lying! Why? Why would you lie like that?
No, it's not a lie. Sakura definitely went to Section C. Kyoko already showed me the evidence I need. Now I have to hit Hina with it to make her accept it. Yeah, it's that she had fucking yellow shit on her shoes. How would she have done that if she never went into that room? Okay, really?
You're a liar! What are you saying? Wrong! You're wrong! I'm telling you, I did it! Stop talking! You're a liar! Wrong! You're wrong! Wrong! You're wrong! I hate you!
How do I get more bullets?
You're a liar! What are you saying? Wrong! You're wrong! I'm telling you, I did it! Stop talking! You're a liar! Wrong! You're wrong! Wrong! You're wrong! Do you have any kind of proof Sakura took the poison?
I guess I don't
This
have an
should
extra
prove
bullet
it.
that time.
Hina, did you know that Sakura's foot had a certain yellow powder stuck to it?
It did?
It did. The same yellow powder that had been spilled by the shelf in the chem lab. That powder was yellow, wasn't it? So the powder we found on Sakura, what else could it be but the powder from the chem lab?
Wait. So, what was that powder doing on Ogre's foot?
And it was only on her instep, right?
Sakura must have been standing right there where the powder was spilled. So the person who spilled the powder by the shelf wasn't Hina, but Sakura. And when Sakura dropped the bottle, she dropped it away from where she was actually standing, which is how she was able to avoid getting it all over herself. But the powder still got scattered around, and some of it must have wound up on her instep. Is there any problem with my thinking?
But why did Sakura pay a visit to Section C in the first place? The only explanation is that she was looking for poison. After all, that's all that section contained.
No! It was me! The poison! Because I killed her!
No, you didn't kill her.
The one that killed Sakura. The connection between Sakura and the poison and the unsolved mystery of the locked room. There's only one way to explain it. Yep, Sakura killed Sakura.
Here's my answer.
That's why he has those pictures around there.
The one who killed
Specifically
Sakura
for this case.
was...
What?
What?
The killer was Sakura?
Wait, so you're saying it was suicide?
I don't believe it. I don't believe it any more than I believe I can fly.
I can't believe it either. Or rather, I don't want to believe it. But when you really think about it, everything matches up. Sakura went and got the poison. She barricaded herself in a room, and she drank it, all so she could end her own life. And that explains why we couldn't solve the mystery of the locked room.
Because of course, Sakura wanted to create their
I
locked
got
room.
it! The locked room mystery was created by Sakura.
I'm sure she locked herself in so nobody could stop her from doing what she did. She sat there, drank the poison, and breathed her last breath. And the empty bottle of poison rolled around the locked room until we came and opened it. At that point, someone grabbed the bottle and snuck it out of the room. And that was you, wasn't it, Hina? You did it to throw off the investigation, didn't you? When we found her body, you stayed right there near the door, because you already knew Sakura was dead. And because the bottle of poison had rolled near the doorway.
That's when you picked up the bottle, right? I was too shocked to notice anything. And Kyoko was busy checking the body.
And the more I think about it, the more I realize how unusual your actions were.
I have to go get the others. On shaky legs, Hina left the room.
You said you were going to go get everyone else, but your real intention was to go to the chem lab and switch out the containers, wasn't it? Once you were at the chem lab, you headed straight to the section where the protein powder was kept. There, you took the powder and poured it into the bottle of poison you'd grabbed from the rec room. When you left the lab, all you had was the empty protein can. Thinking about it like that, the footprints make perfect sense.
When you were done, you gathered everyone together. And once you were back in the rec room,
I got everyone. Ogre? Oh, so she's dead, huh? Sakura's been killed, I see.
while everyone else was focused on Sakura, you quietly placed the can on the ground. Honestly, I should have noticed. You should have been the first one to run up to Sakura's lifeless body. The Hina I know never would have left her side in a situation like that.
So, Sakura committed suicide. In order to hide this fact, Hina undertook a series of actions to undermine the investigation. As long as you could disguise the truth, you didn't care if we blamed you for her death. That's why you didn't bother to get rid of such obvious evidence, right? The footprints in the powder and the bottle of poison? Vital pieces of evidence, and yet...
So you're saying Hina consciously deceived us to make it look like she killed Sakura?
No! I killed her! I did it!
That's enough, Hina. It's over.
It's not! Nothing's over!
It is. Actually, no. You're right. You have to end this properly.
With a recap.
Here's exactly what happened. This case began when Sakura asked a number of people to meet her in the rec room. Specifically, those people were Hiro, Toko, and Byakuya. But one of them headed out a bit earlier than the others. She got there one step ahead of everyone else and looked around for a good hiding spot. Here's exactly what happened. But one of them headed out a bit earlier than the others. She got there, and she found it. She crawled into the locker to get out of sight. Then, from inside the locker, she saw Sakura enter the room. Next to arrive was Hiro.
Look how crazy his hair is in these.
When he got there, he mistakenly thought Sakura was going to try to kill him, so he panicked. Without thinking, he grabbed a nearby Monokuma bottle and attacked Sakura with it. Thinking he'd killed her, he hastily began covering up his crime. He took a magazine from the table and forged a dying message from Sakura. To that end, he wrote down a name. Toko. By writing her name, he was hoping to pin the murder on her. But of course, Toko had witnessed the whole thing. So as soon as the coast was clear, she jumped out of the locker and hid the magazine on the shelf with all the others. But in her rush, she put the magazine back upside down. Soon after, she watched as Sakura slowly opened her eyes. She also saw the blood dripping off Sakura's head and fainted. This caused her personality to switch back over to Genocide Jack. When she woke back up, her second personality also saw the blood-soaked Sakura, and she freaked out. And just like Hiro, she grabbed another Monokuma bottle and attacked her. This explains why there were 2 wounds on Sakura's head. Assuming Sakura really was dead this time, she set about disposing of the evidence. She gathered up the broken Monokuma bottle shards and the queen chess piece. And that explains how Sakura was attacked twice with the same type of weapon. But even after those 2 blows, she was still alive. So then, what was Sakura's actual cause of death? It was the poison that Sakura herself got from the chem lab. She turned the rec room into a true locked room scenario, and then drank the deadly mixture. And there, she took her final breath. Later on, the rest of us discovered that her body was in there. We had to smash the door's window to get inside. But someone already knew what had happened, knew that she had committed suicide. And that same someone, and while nobody was looking, replaced it with an empty protein can. They did all this specifically to place all the suspicion on themselves, in an attempt to guide the trial to a false conclusion. And the one who went to all that effort was you, Hina. That's the full truth of the case. Sakura took her own life, and you claim to be the killer to hide that fact. Isn't that right?
That's what happened? But, Makoto, how did you manage to... How were you able to uncover the truth that even I couldn't discern?
Huh? Oh, well, I mean...
You still haven't realized? We don't all act according to calculations and cost-benefit diagrams. That's what makes us so complicated. That's what you don't understand. And that's why you couldn't solve this case. See? Didn't I tell you? When you dismiss other people's feelings, it'll always come back to bite you in the end.
Okay. I think we can all agree you made your point. Did you guys forget already? You still haven't voted yet.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You seriously forgot? I can feel my energy draining out of me. Well, whatever. Maybe you don't want to, but please grab your lever and cast your vote. So, who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? Okay.
The one who killed Sakura was Sakura herself?
My entire existence!
Okay, we're done here.
What did you say?
So, that's the whole truth? Huh, I see. But, there's still one thing I don't understand.
Come on.
Hina, why did you try covering up what happened? If the truth hadn't come to light, you would have died along with the rest of us.
What are you thinking?
And yet you... Why did you do that?
Don't be mean!
Yeah! We almost died there!
What is this?
Because... that's exactly what I wanted. What? I mean, the reason Sakura died is because all of you pushed her into a corner. You all killed her. So that's why...
You should have been the one
I
to
couldn't
die.
let her be the only one that died.
What?
you don't mean... You were gonna take us all with you? I don't know how to do her voice. We have to atone for our sins. Because everyone, even me, we all killed her. We all have to pay for our crimes.
What?
For serious? That's...
What is this?
You still don't understand? Let me explain. Do you realize just how much despair Sakura was carrying with her when she died? Look at this. Such betrayal, brutality has made me desperate. So instead of waiting to be killed, I'll do it by my own hand. That's... I found it on the ground in front of the rec room. It's Sakura's suicide note. Suicide note? Thinking back, I should have seen it coming. It was right after Genocide Jack had attacked me. Sakura got mad and stormed out of the nurse's office. I ran out after her. And... Sakura, calm down. You don't have to worry about me. I'm fine. I can't calm down. I don't care if I suffer for this. It's my fault, after all. And now you're suffering because of me?
No forgiveness!
You tried to protect me, and because of me,
I can't forgive
my closest
this.
friend got hurt. Sakura, because of me. My friends are all going to kill each other. This is all my responsibility. Sakura thought she was responsible. She thought everything was her fault, which is why she wanted to find some way to get everyone to forgive her. So she asked to meet with them.
Huh?
You asked to meet with those three? You can't. Don't you see how dangerous that is? Don't worry. I just want to talk to them.
But...
Talk about what? Listen, don't do it. If they all gang up on you at once, even you... Hina. Please don't think of that. Think like... Please don't think of things like that. You're not the enemy.
Friend.
They're friends. Sakura. She clearly believed. She completely believed in all of us. If you just talked to her, you would have understood. She was a friend to all of us, and yet...
Why?
And yet... You trampled all over her feelings. And then you did the unthinkable. No, that was just a misunderstanding.
What are you saying?
Don't stand there and call it a misunderstanding. She believed in you, and you wouldn't even listen to what she had to say. Without asking a single question, you tried to kill her.
I won't forgive you.
Do you have any idea how desperate she was, seeing you act like that? That's what her suicide note means. So instead of waiting to be killed, I'll do it by my own hand.
Why?
That's how far you pushed her.
Huh?
Sakura, what happened to you?
Hina.
You came. Wait, right here. I'll help you out.
Hina.
Hina.
Huh?
I'm so glad I got to meet you. What's wrong, Sakura? Why are you talking like that?
I have
a favor to ask.
Huh?
A favor?
Some protein.
Could I ask you to? Yeah, you got it. Just hang on. I'll be right back. That was the last conversation. That was the last conversation I had with her. I went to the chem lab to grab protein, the protein she asked for. When I got there, I saw the powder, and that's when I realized. I saw that someone had taken something from the poison shelf, Sakura. So I ran back to the rec room as fast as I could, but by the time I got there, it was already too late. Sakura,
Please.
let me in. Please open the door.
Why?
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 Why did she have to die? She had weaknesses, just like any other person. If she got cut, she bled. If someone hurt her, she felt it. That's weakness. That's normal. And yet,
Why?
you all blamed her. I tried to protect her, and I suffered for it. And that just added to the weight on her, the weight she had to carry. And I didn't even realize it. Hina. We killed her, all of us. We pushed her into a corner, and we murdered her.
Why?
People like us shouldn't be allowed to live. And that's why you tried to lead us astray? You did your best to make us arrive at the wrong conclusion during the class trial. Sakura died hating all of us. I wanted to free her from her regrets. But even that got found out. In the end, I wasn't able to do anything for her. I could never face her after this.
Hey!
I'm sorry to interrupt. When you're right about to deliver the final tearjerker, but
Hey!
it's just taking so long. I'm about to fall asleep over here. I mean, do you really think you have any idea what Sakura was actually thinking when she died?
What is this?
What did you say? Everything you just said is nothing but your interpretation, right? Make your own opinion. Your own opinion on what her suicide note meant.
What are you saying?
Of course. I know what she was thinking, because her and
In
me...
other words,
Well, what I'm really trying to say is...
yes, indeed.
Don't you think the entire foundation is shaky? What if it was really like this?
What the heck?
What is that?
Of course.
Isn't it obvious?
Yep.
A suicide note. Sakura's suicide note. What? But Hina already.
Too bad.
Oh, I wrote that one. It was all me, baby.
It's true.
This is the one Sakura addressed to Hina and put it in her room.
Huh?
What? Then you lied to me?
Unbelievable.
Oh, don't say lie. It makes it sound so dirty. I just thought I'd liven things up a bit.
Well now,
I couldn't help it if you-
now.
Totally took my little scribbles at face value. I didn't even have Sakura's signature on it. You filthy little...
Damn it.
I'm not filthy. I didn't do anything. Did I falsify evidence? Did I affect the outcome of the class trial? The case played out between you and you alone. You were the ones jerking each other around. Phew. Heck, even if I had factored in, I still would have been between you guys.
Shing!
So what's the problem? This is only part of the production process, okay? And scene. Cut.
And?
And so then, what did she write in her real suicide note?
What are you gonna do?
I'm glad you asked. For your benefit, I shall read it using my melodic, angelic, harmonic narrator voice.
Hey!
But you know, haven't you ever been curious about the whole suicide note thing? Who came up with the idea of leaving a note when you kill yourself in the first
But
place?
hold on.
And isn't it just so unfortunate? Killing yourself is so final, you know? You can never hear the rest of their story. The truth is lost in darkness. Gives me the willies.
Enough already.
Could you just get on with it, please?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, geez. Talk about a buzzkill. All right, here we go. My good friend Hina, there is something I have to tell you. I hate to do this. I hate to do it like this, but you need to know. This is my final wish.
As you know, I've been giving information to the one who's imprisoned you here.
It was our first night in this strange school that the mastermind came to me.
See, the mastermind took control of my family's dojo and demanded I become their tool.
You might not see the importance of my dojo, but my father had been watching over it for 300
I couldn't
years.
let it be destroyed under my watch. So even if it meant my own life, I had to protect it. That's how I saw things.
However, this was my greatest weakness. And because of that, I made the mistake of giving in to the
And what the mastermind wanted from me was nothing less than murder.
They were probably worried that until the first murder had happened, nothing would move forward. But what neither the mastermind nor I expected was the incident involving Sayaka. At that point, the plan changed. The mastermind told me to hold off, to wait until we reached another stalemate.
However, as I lived here with all of you, as I lived here with Hina, my resolve began to weaken.
Watching everyone fight with such despair, trying so desperately to stay alive, I saw the weakness in my own heart, the mistake of succumbing to the mastermind, and more than anything,
I cannot betray those who would call me their friend.
That's how I came to feel. So that's why Sakura.
I've made a decision. I will no longer retreat, no longer compromise, no longer regret. I've made my decision. I'm going to resist you.
Of course. Because of that, I decided to reveal her secret, which made everyone else hate her. Her decision to stay true to all of you led directly to all of you hating her for it. Ironic, isn't it? Or maybe oxymoronic? Or just moronic?
Of course, I understand if you all hate me. All of this is because of my own weakness.
I am perfectly willing to accept whatever attack you may want to make on me.
So this is my atonement for betraying you. That's what I had in mind.
But unfortunately, that's not enough. This won't end with me just accepting your hate.
My own situation has started having an effect on more people than just me, which is exactly what the Mastermind wanted when they revealed my betrayal.
My betrayal brought suspicion, disharmony. The Mastermind knew that eventually it would escalate into someone murdering someone else.
Of course, I'm still responsible for that as well.
I have an obligation to the situation under control. To fulfill that obligation, I have decided to do what the Mastermind has commanded. I will do what I was told and commit
But I've
murder.
decided the one I'm going to kill is myself.
The Mastermind demands that I kill someone, then that someone will be me. Then my dojo will be safe, and above all else, no one will have to kill anyone. When I die, the source of conflict among you all dies with me. For that, I am willing to give up my
If it
life.
can save you, then sacrificing my own life could have no greater meaning.
Damn.
Whatever you think of me, please know that you are all my most treasured friends.
I've never had people like you in my life.
Huh?
Then Sakura didn't feel cornered? She didn't die hating us?
No way!
She wanted us to stop us? She wanted to stop us from fighting? To protect us?
Correct.
She didn't end her own life because she was weak. Quite the opposite, in fact. She was strong. Too strong. That's why she killed herself. She chose death for herself in order to protect the rest of us. To sacrifice so much, no normal person could have done that.
However,
It was only her limitless strength that made it possible.
Finally, Hina, I want to apologize to you especially.
The reason I didn't tell you any of this is because I knew you would try to stop me. I'm really, truly sorry. But please, don't be sad. If I can thwart the mastermind's plan, even if I can even keep you from killing each other, that's enough for me. This is the path that I have chosen. This is the only way I have left to distinguish myself. And you can use this note to bring the class trial to a quick end. I'm so sorry to ask you to do something so unpleasant, but I have to leave the rest of it to you. Please talk to Byakuya, Toko, and Hiro on my behalf. I can't tell anyone about my plan while I'm alive, but I wanted you to understand why I'm doing this. In the end, though, I hope to show myself through actions and not words. Hopefully then they'll see.
I never saw you as my enemy. You were only ever my friend, who I wanted to help as much as possible. Hina, whatever it takes, survive. Survive along with everyone else. No matter what, just survive.
Damn, man, she's a real homie. I didn't understand how she felt. Not at all. I thought we were close and still.
What are you gonna do?
But in the end, all her meddling was like totally pointless. She died so you guys wouldn't try to kill each other, but you almost ended up doing it anyway. Thanks to you, her death had no purpose at all. In fact, it's because of her stupid meddling that the rest of you nearly bit the big one.
Too bad.
She deserves all the blame. Everyone blame her. Go ahead, she deserves it. Now then, the next victim has been decided. What do you mean, the next victim? Nobody here blames anyone.
Huh?
First of all, you're in the wrong for tricking Hina with that false suicide note. Plus, Sakura's death wasn't a waste.
Say what?
Huh? Because she made us remember, we're not enemies that hate each other. We're friends who need to work together.
You know?
Damn straight. This is all because our misplaced hate.
Well,
I don't blame her. I can't blame her. Nobody can blame Hina either. What? Whether or not there was a spy never really mattered, because the one we need to destroy is you, nobody else.
What do you want?
What the heck? That's not how this is supposed to go. But anyway, are you sure about that? This killing game is a competition between all of you, remember?
Hey!
Your enemy is each other. He's absolutely right about that.
Phew.
Ah, lovely, Byakuya. You understand, don't you? This is a life or death elimination match. The only way to survive is to win. There can be no doubt that those are the rules of the game. Which is why I am bowing out of the game.
Huh?
Naturally.
Sakura and Hina were both willing to sacrifice their own lives to deny the reality of this game. Thanks to them, it would appear the others have cast aside their fear for this game.
Don't make me repeat myself.
There's no point in participating in a game which has lost the sense of excitement. Which is why I will no longer be participating in it.
What?
What's going on here? Now, I have only one thing to look forward to.
It's all clear now.
And that is to heap the harshest possible punishment onto the one who thinks they can control me. Byakuya, does this mean... Don't misunderstand. I haven't been moved by some thoughtless sentimentalism. This is what you're thinking, if that's what you're thinking. Wherever Master goes, I go. If the mastermind turns out to be the guy, maybe I can catch on fire. Everyone.
Hey,
Well, now you can say that Sakura's death. Now you can say that Sakura's death has no meaning. How boring. But nothing good comes of this. I'm still gonna be the one having the fun time.
The heck?
Huh? The fun time? Anyway, let's not forget that good-for-nothing backstabber and getting back on track.
You want me to punish you guys?
It's the moment we've all been waiting for. Punishment time.
What?
What? But Sakura was technically the killer, right? And she's dead. Well, you're not gonna...
But...
Is it me?
Wrong.
Oh, heavens, no. Just because the Blackhead is dead doesn't mean I can't just... Doesn't mean I can just snub in whatever old student I want. Sub. Oops. Didn't I tell you? It's very particular about the bare times one rule.
Listen up.
But I spent so much time preparing my special punishment, it's a shame to let it go to waste. So for my special punishment, I've prepared a special guest. A special guest.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time.
Fucking Sakura's dead body. Oh, fuck. See you later, alter ego. Well, that sucks. You... Oh, you suck, man! You turned him into a mangled hunk of junk. Phew! That really took it out of me. Maybe I'll go grill up a plate of chicken. After all, they say for post-workout grub, chicken's where it's at. It's got all that grilled goodness. Fried, broiled, give me a break. The color, the smell, the succulence, grilled is where it's at.
So...
I realize how dangerous it can be, but I have to do this. I'm scared, but I can handle it. I don't really understand why, but when I think about everyone else, my courage starts to grow. And that's not the only thing that starts to grow. Okay. Yep. Alter Ego's words racing through my heart and soul. And then my disbelief gave way to raw anger. That anger turned to fury, black and muddy and boiling over. It bubbled up. He used me through my body, quickly overflowing and shooting out of my mouth. How dare you? That was my friend! How dare you kill him?
What's the matter?
Huh? You were friends with a laptop? That's pretty pathetic. What's next? Friends with a basketball? Shut the hell up. He wasn't just a laptop, he was my friend. And you killed him. This is what you call animalism? Is this what you call animalism? Where a soul dwells within all things? Even like laptops? Well, you can call it whatever you want. Bottom line is, it got in my way. I was trying to find things all sneaky. it was trying to find things all sneaky.
Just as I thought.
So, you finally noticed him.
Actually,
Finally? No. I've known from the very beginning. I knew Chihiro was doing something with the laptop. I knew and I knew you were using it to analyze data. I knew exactly how it was all gonna play out from the start. What?
What are you thinking?
You knew? And you were still cocky enough to let us take the plunge?
Yep.
Well, I mean, the data on that laptop, it was, I guess you could call it a gift from me to you. Or maybe more like a reward for in honor of you being able to unlock something so difficult. So, of course, I didn't care if you got access to that. But sneaking into the network was just too personal. So I had to do a little, reformatting.
I want to be able to help.
Yeah, you literally just Alter Ego wanted to fight for us. He wanted to help at the risk of his own life, and for that, he was killed. Yeah, the punishment time has made me feel a billion times better.
very
Experiencing a meaningless death is so soothing. It makes me remember that every low can get even lower. No, his death wasn't meaningless either. Everybody who's died so far, the deaths of each and every one of our friends, they all make us stronger. And I swear to God, someday you will pay for this. Holy moly! You're super mad. Like, just unreasonably upset.
well.
Okay. Time to bring things to a close. Oh, but before that, I need to read the postscript.
What?
Postscript?
Yep.
Yeah. There's still a little bit left of Sakura's note.
Huh?
Huh? Do I have your attention? Okay then, here we go.
Hello.
Prepare your ears for the delicate dulce, I don't know, tones of yours truly. One other thing, Hina. There is something I'd like you to tell the others. Hopefully, it will act as a clue to help you unravel the mystery of this school. What? A clue?
Hina.
I've spoken with the mastermind off and on the whole time I've been here. And so I've learned one thing, which is the mastermind has done something to us. I think what they've done is... Oopsie daisy, that was a close one. Another word and we would have been hip deep in spoiler territory.
Too bad.
Okay. I don't want to ruin the surprise, so the book club is dismissed for today. What? You can't just stop at the most important bit. It makes your brain rumble and tumble, huh? It makes you so mad you don't even friggin' know.
You guys?
That's the whole point, stupid! It's to get back at all of you for hardening your resolve. Fine, but at least Sakura's note. Like I'd ever let you greaseballs have it.
Huh?
But
Too bad.
he sucks for you, losers. Wait, what's this?
What?
What is it now?
What?
There's one last line in the note. And let me just say this to the mastermind. I'm not just going to lay down and die. I will fight you, you bastard, no matter what. And that's seriously it. Oh? Whoa, what a stubborn loser, huh? She won't lay down and die? She'll fight you? Well, whatever. Who cares what some dead musclehead has to say?
Well?
Okay, I'm out of here. You guys try and... you guys should try and get some rest, And maybe take some time to reconsider how you approach the school life of yours. Are you sure you don't want to graduate? Think about it. Think long, think hard. Those were his parting words to us before disappearing. And what was that all about? Sakura's final message, her last clue to help us solve the mystery of the school. The mastermind did something to us? Kyoko said something like that before, didn't she? That it was after Celeste's trial was over.
You.
What did you do? What did you do to my body?
Who?
What?
Hey,
Answer me. What did you do to my body? The mastermind did something to our bodies. What are they saying the mastermind did? What did the mastermind do to us? I mean, did the mastermind plant a bomb in us or something? And if we try to leave the school, a sensor goes off and the bomb goes boom? Or the bomb explodes? I've seen stuff like that in movies and comics and stuff, so it's not totally heard of. No, I feel awful just thinking about it. I can't afford to acknowledge those thoughts like that.
Yo!
So, the class trial is over and Monokuma's gone.
But...
So, now what do we do?
Yes.
What else is there to do, other than head back up?
Oh,
yeah. Okay, let's get out of here. But, Hina must feel responsible. Dial back the ego a bit, girl. The kind of mystery someone like you could pose is absolutely no threat.
Not possible.
I would never have lost to that kind of challenge. What are you talking about? Kyoko and Makoto are the ones that figured everything out.
Stop talking.
Shut up. Seriously, I'm sorry. How many times do you plan on apologizing? How about you make that the last one? I haven't reached the point where I need someone apologizing to me more than once.
Sorry.
Okay. I see what you mean. Then I'll try. Huh? That wasn't normal, right? Did she just capture his flag?
No, 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 no!
I can't suffer this existence of someone who would disturb the romance between me and Master. What are you talking about? That's absolutely not what's happening here. Why would I ever go for that a sleazeball like him?
What did you say?
Sleazeball?
What the heck?
That's right. I called you a sleazeball because you are sleazeball.
I see.
Apparently, you still have a death wish. Oh, more biting sarcasm? No wonder you don't have any friends.
No, 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 no!
Hey, stop fighting with Master. You're making me jealous. I want the abuse. Give and take me. I guess it's not so easy for everyone to act like friends. Well, that's just how it is for now. And so, Sakura's class trial came to an end, and we returned to the world of Hope's Peak Academy. But the story wasn't even close to over. Time kept marching on. We all went back to our rooms, and before long, night snuck up on us.
This is as such. Soon the door. Okay then.
Nighttime descended and pulled me down along with it, deep into sleep. I couldn't remember the last time I had fallen into such a deep sleep, but the night still wasn't over for me. A voice. I could hear a voice. What? Wake up, huh? The voice dragged me from the deep slumber into a hazy half consciousness. My eyelids were like lead.
Kyoko?
yes, it's me.
Huh? Kyoko?
I said yes.
So Kyoko's here.
Wait, what?
How did you get in my room? In a flash, I was wide awake. What are you doing here?
It's true.
I'm here to wake you up. Oh, I see. Wait, but my door. It was unlocked. You're unbelievably careless. It was unlocked? Are you serious?
Hey,
Always. And you don't have to overreact like that every time you're surprised. What time is it?
correct.
3 o'clock. In the morning, of course. It's 3 a.m.? Why was Kyoko waking me up at this hour? It's so late. What happened?
Makoto.
I have a favor I need to ask. What's your favor?
So,
Remember what Sakura said at the end of her note? I'm not going to just lay down and die. I will fight you. I want to find out what she meant by that. Okay, but how do you plan to do that? Then Kyoko put her lips next to my ear and whispered. The data center on the first floor. What?
Goodbye.
I'll meet you there. Without another word, she was gone. What the? Her words reverberated through my half-dazed head. The data center. But I thought it was locked. Alright. Well, that's where we're gonna end it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. That was a good class trial. Once again, I called it. But who knows? Maybe I'll fucking be an idiot on the next one. Hopefully not, because it's kind of embarrassing. But I hope you enjoyed this playthrough. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.